Uh, Good morning, one and all. This is our last day of this online ASCT ISTE program. Today, the expert speaker, Dr. S. Rajarajan, Professor and Dean Academics, the Department of ECE, Sri Sai Ram Institute of Technology, is going to give a presentation on the topic, the roles and importance of entrepreneurship education and engineering curriculum. And he is having more than 27 years of his teaching experience, and he is right now working as a dean, and he was involved in many academic activities like NBA, NAC, and research, and so on. So we are a very immense pleasure in inviting him to uh, uh, to this particular AACT program. Thank you, sir. Sir, kindly.
இதெல்லாம் உனக்கு தெரியாதா?
Sir, sir,
Okay, sir. I can.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Kindly mute your mic, sir.
Yes, sir. சார் ராஜன் சார், நம்ம எல்லாத்தையும் மியூட் பண்ணிடுங்க சார், நீங்க ஓபன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க சார்.
வெரி சாரி.
Actually, there is a problem in screen sharing in my system. That's why without the PPT, I can start giving this lecture. I will be sharing the PPT related with this presentation to you at the earliest. Good morning to all. This is Dr. Rajarajan from Sri Sai Ram Institute of Technology. I am working as professor in the Department of ECE, and we are looking after many academic related activities like curriculum design for the autonomous and NBA coordination also. These are all very brief biodata about me. I really thank the organizers of this particular AICTE, ISTE refresher program. One second. So sorry for the interruption. I can continue now. Essentially the title of this particular session is participation of industry in curriculum design and delivery. As the name implies, we can easily find out the originality of this particular work, especially in the curriculum design and the pedagogical approach of the teachers. Mainly, not only for engineering teachers, this is common to all. As of now, we are working on different projects related with industry. How we can design the curriculum at par with the requirement of the industry? This is the question. Or I can change my question and ask the same. Are our students are industry ready? For example, after completing 4 years of engineering degree, are our students are ready for the employment? If you ask this question, more or less all of us can understand this is not possible. Straight away, the engineering graduates cannot be deployed into the real field. This is what the understanding. So in order to remove this hurdle, after completing the degree, how can we accommodate or how can we deploy this engineering graduates or our students into the project straight away? This is the question. The simplest mechanism is, until otherwise you change the curriculum, because our curriculum is designed once in 4 years. Normally once in 4 years or 5 years, we are designing our curriculum. When we started doing this curriculum design, normally the field, maybe, for example, cloud computing was in peak when we started this first year. with the final years, they are now in final years. Now there is some other technology. It is not cloud computing, it is blockchain technology. This is the new technology. While starting their degree, the cloud was in the peak. That's why we included cloud computing in our elective, at least, or in the core major for your ITNS, computer science departments. But right now it is outdated. So how can we update the syllabus then and there? For every year, we cannot do that. So once in 4 years only, it is possible to change the syllabus or the curriculum. But how can we include the essential essential components of the industrial requirement into the syllabus? This is the good question to be asked. So the thing is, there are you can come with a lot of options. Number one, internship may be the first class remedy for this. Internship, actually the real time exposure can be given to our students by means of the internship. Number two, the industrial projects will be definitely satisfying a partial portion of this work, industrial project work. But according to us, according to the academicians, the basic problem in the existing setup is no industry is ready to give many number of projects, because the number of engineering graduates are many. The companies which are willing to give the projects are very minimum. So how can we cater the needs of the students to do the industrial projects? This is the question in front of us. This is the second question. First question, who is giving internship for a little longer period, like 2 months or 3 months to our students? Even though there are few companies, those companies are not at all sufficient to cater the needs of our students. Number one. Number two, the same condition is reflected in our projects also. We are not finding many companies to give the projects, industrial projects, to our students. These 2 points are so in discussing these 2 points, we have little more hesitation, because the stakeholders, naturally the companies or the industries or corporates, are not ready to acquire our students as interns as well as the project students. So in this context, how can we increase the throughput of the engineering student side? How can we make a student who is a deployable engineer? That is not a easiest way to find the solution. So we can have a little more introduction or little more discussion about this, especially in this particular point. For example, number one, the first remedy. First of all, the academicians or the academic institutes should understand what is the requirement of the industry. This is first point. What is going on there in the industry? Without knowing that, we cannot change our curriculum or syllabus. So to understand the actual happenings in the industry, we should have the tie-up with the industry. Being the teachers, we should have the tie-up with the industries to understand the happenings in this inside the industry. What are all the current scenarios and what are all the current technologies in the industry? We should understand this. Only then we can go with the curriculum design with the latest topic. In order to satisfy this particular condition, being the teachers or being the institutes, academic institutes, we should have the proper linkage. Industrial linkage is essential. Many institutes, they can list out many number of companies as a MOU, or they can show in account many number of, say, 45 number of companies we have the tie-up with in the industrial side, something like that. But the problem is, how many number of such MOUs are active? Only the active MOUs will be useful to get the idea. First point. So we should understand that being the institute or the academician, we should understand the real happenings of the industry. Number one, first point. Number two, once it is addressed, once the gaps in our syllabus is addressed, we need some people from the industry in our department advisory board or in our board of studies. In our board, if you have the industrial member, they can give the suggestion to change or at least to modify little portion of the syllabus, which is at par with the requirement of the industry. So industrial persons may be occupying the seats of the DAB, this Department Advisory Board, or the Board of Studies to give their suggestions or views on the designed syllabus. So based on their inputs, we have to change the syllabus or we have to change at least a portion of the syllabus according to the industrial requirement. This is second. Third point is how we are going to teach them. Being a teacher, around 25 years ago, I joined as a lecturer, and now I have become the professor. But the thing is, how can we teach the latest technology to them? This is the $1 billion question in front of us. Currently, the blockchain technology is in the boom, but I don't know what is blockchain technology. The condition may be true for more or less all the staff members, those who are attending this particular session. So without knowing that the latest technologies, how can we cater the needs of the students? That too, for this digital era students, how can we cater the need? So we should be in a position to take up the challenge, this particular challenge, especially if I am ready, I can go through some blockchain technology courses and get certified. Once if you get the certificate, then I will be ready for this. I can easily attempt this particular challenge to teach blockchain technology. So for industrial requirements, since the industries are using the latest technologies, our teachers are not compatible. That is the basic problem. The latest corporate need is in the latest technology, but our teachers are not at all capable to handle the latest technologies because their experiences in some other domain, but the latest technology is very new to them. How can we cope up with the technological changes being a teacher? This is our third question. So in this particular view, first question is entirely different. Second question is the role of industrial people in our DAB and Board of Studies. They can give the inputs only. But now the question is, the syllabus is ready with the latest technology, which is compatible with the industry. But who will handle this particular subject? Who will teach this subject, this latest technology to the student? This is the third question. So until otherwise, the regular faculty members are not involved in updating themselves to the latest technology. This is not possible because this technology is new.
Sir? Sir, are you hearing me, sir? Sir? So there is some, I think there is some net problem. Kindly, please wait. He'll join in no time.
ஹலோ, பேசிட்டு தான் சார் இருக்கேன் சார்.
சார் இவ்வளவு நேரம் கேட்கல சார், இப்பதான் கேக்குது.
இல்ல, நான் பேசிட்டு தான் இருக்கேன்.
பேச இருக்கீங்களா? சரிங்க சார், கண்டிப்பா பண்ணுங்க சார். ஒருவேளை அவங்க
ஓகே,
மற்றவங்களுக்கு
ஓகே.
கேட்டுக்கிறேன் சார். ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ சார், தேங்க்யூ சார்.
So this is actually the third dimension. I mean, I think you could not hear my voice due to the I don't know what is the reason. My mic is already in. It is unmute only. It is giving, but why? I don't understand. Anyway, the third point I discussed was I can repeat again. I can discuss. I can repeat the last point which I discussed. By incorporating the external members or the industrial members, we can change the attitude of the students in the living lab concept. Living lab is very important because in the living lab there are no certain experiments. The experiments are not listed. They have to do their experiment in their own. Based on their interest and based on the latest technology, trending technology, they go to do this experiments as a project, not a simple experiments. They go to develop a project within a semester. So other than the regular staff member, other than the internal staff member, one more staff member must be there as a external guide. One more staff member must be included as the external guide. So this external guide from the industry definitely will be helpful to do all this magic. In the sense, the students will be getting motivated to do the latest industrial projects or industrial guided projects. It will be helpful to understand better. So this is one more point. So in these 3 points we can discuss. Number one, the first point is very simple. The very basic, very first point is industrial members, linkages with the industry. Number two, industrial members in our curriculum designing board. Number three, internship and industrial projects in our regular activities. So this is what the mechanism to do change our pedagogy. When the pedagogy will be different. Normally the regular traditional teacher cannot, they can easily understand the student psychology. They can handle the classes at any cost. But the problem is industrial persons will have the knowledge, but they are not capable of all, not all. Many industrial experts are not capable of teaching in proper way. So the mix of internal staff member and the external industrial persons will definitely give a improvement in the pedagogy. This improvement is very much required at present to fill the gap of industry and institute. So these 3 points I want to insist now. Number one, all the 3 points already I go listed out. One by one I can. So in our regular curriculum, we need to give all these in different categories. So the, so So it is our duty, being the teachers, engineering teachers, it is our duty to bring in the industrial experts or industrial persons to be accommodated in our board for teaching the students. So by changing our pedagogy, this is one way possible. The fourth way is actually we can train few of our staff members to the latest technologies or latest versions of the industrial flavor to teach our students in better way, like a FDP, faculty development program. We can, instead of giving a theoretical lecture to our faculty members, we can give the input. We can give the input by doing it. For example, like sending the students for the internship in the industries, we can send our staff members to the industry for the same kind of internship. The internship, if you send your faculty for the internship, they will be getting acquainted with a lot of the understanding of the staff member is different, the understanding of student will be different. So once they understand the concept, then it will be useful to the students, while the teachers, those who are already trained by the industries, when they come back to the college, and if you give, it will be better to them. This is one more technique. So the fourth technique may be possible for many. During the vacation, the staff members can be accommodated, or you, by using the sabbatical leave also, we can provide the chance of getting the training from the industry. So the basic requirement in this curriculum design is, the curriculum design must be in term or in tune with the industrial requirement. To tune your students at par with the industrial requirement, number one, I have suggested so far 4 number of ways. Number one, we should have the proper linkage with the industry. The linkage should not be ideal, it should be active. Number two, the second is the industrial members can be in our curriculum designing board like DAB, Academic Council, and all this. Number three, the industrial persons may be working as a visiting faculty, or
இப்ப பேசுங்க என்கிட்ட சார். சார் அப்படிங்களா? உங்க வாய்ஸ் கேட்கல சார். நான் இப்ப செல்போன்ல தான் வாங்கிட்டு இருக்கேன். சார்
can you hear my voice?
Yes sir, now I hearing sir. இப்போ நல்லா கிளியரா இருக்கு சார். Okay sir. Okay sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All of a sudden it goes to unmute, sir.
அப்படியே சார் மியூட்.
Automatically without any intervention it goes to mute.
ஓகே சார், நான் செக் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கேன் சார். நான் நீங்க கண்டினியூ பண்ணுங்க.
Yes. Whenever there is a problem, I open my chat box also so that I can understand.
Okay sir, I'll post it sir immediately. Okay.
Okay.
Sir. Right sir, you can continue sir.
Okay. So these are all the 4 points I have suggested to you. In this particular point, how can we include the industry in our curriculum design or industrial based curriculum design? These are all the topics. Number one, the points, because many times it went to mute, I repeat once again. The first point is to incorporate the industries in our curriculum design. The first point is the industry should have the linkage, or the institute should have the linkages with the good industries. The linkages must be active, should not be idle. Number two, your curriculum designing board like academic council, board of studies, and department advisory board should have the industrial members, and we should treat their inputs as important, and we should accommodate the inputs given by them in our syllabus. Number two. Number three, a live-in lab concept. Instead of giving a certain set of experiments in our certain set of experiments in our laboratory, many number of without any experiments list, we can run a laboratory. In that laboratory, this lab is actually called as live-in lab. Many number of projects can be completed as per the students' wish. At least per semester, they have to complete one product or one project. For in the latest technologies. For this, definitely we need the guidance of the external industrial members rather than our staff members. So our staff members may be internal guide, external staff member must be the external guide. This is third point. Fourth point, we train our faculty as per to the in the industry to get the compatibility of industrial flavor in our curriculum. These are all the 4 points, possible points to change our or to design our curriculum as per the industrial requirement. And now I am coming to this ending portion. These are all the main points. I have discussed more or less all the points. Anyway, I will check the remaining portion also. In our curriculum, AICT curriculum also, they have given very clear idea. They have given very clear idea about the proportions, composition of the industry part. Now they are insisting very much internship. Even though the students are good and scoring more than 8 or 9 CGPA, without internship, the university is not granting the degree. This is the insistence given by the AICTE to the affiliating university. This is very much true also. Now, this is the time, or this is the need of the hour. So without internship, the students cannot be a skillful engineer or employable engineer. This is one more point added. And from the student side, we need some support and the motivation. Without their motivation and without their interest, whatever you do, it is definitely it will not be useful. So we need to motivate the students also. For this, we need some capacity building camps or boot camps we require to do so, to increase the motivation and to increase the activity based learning. The students should be getting proper motivation, only then it will be useful. This is one more point. So in AICT, they have given proper weightage to all this. They are giving, apart from this, they have apart from this, in the sense we have the basic engineering laboratories, basic engineering courses, general engineering courses, science and humanity courses, elective courses, program core courses, program laboratory courses, and open electives, subject electives or core electives, and talent or skill enhancement courses, projects, and internship, and mandatory courses to increase the number of students to get the idea about the Indian history and the traditional items. They have to complete some mandatory courses also. This is the curriculum given by the AICTE. The curriculum is maximum, they are suggesting 160 credits only, not more than 160 credit. And one more forum, they are giving the option. The seminar or guest lecture by the eminent faculty, they may be retired persons from the industry, or any other top officials can give these seminars, industrial seminars, online faculty discussion or networking forum, collective handling of what we call the subject, particular subject, by sharing the units, 3 units for internal staff member, 2 units for external staff members, something like that. With this, I want to conclude this session. If you have any questions, you can ask me. This the forum is open for questions now. Forum is open for questions. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Sir, Prem sir. Prem sir. Prem sir. Is there or not? Saravanan sir. Hello, Saravanan sir.
Sir, Prem Kumar, sir. Hello, sir. Sorry, sir. Hello,
I
sir.
have completed my session.
Yes, sir.
1 hour.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. One minute.
Session is over, but if they are asking any doubts or questions, I can clarify, sir.
Okay, sir. Participant if there is any queries or any discussion you want to make with Dr. Rajarajan sir, you can talk to him and you can clarify your doubts, sir.
Nobody is listening, I think.
Participants, you can interact with him.
Okay, sir. Then we
Yes, sir.
can conclude.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your wonderful presentation on various tools used in this particular modern education. And thank you very much. Behalf of all participants and our college, we are very thankful to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The presentation, it is not shareable. That is why I didn't share.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
have
sir.
the presentation. I will give it to Shanmugh Sundar, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
that
Sure, sir.
he can deliver to all of you. Thank you so much for the opportunity given to me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Participants, now we'll be having a valedictory by today afternoon, sharply by 2:30. 2:30 to 3, our chief guest will be coming for valedictory. But 2 o'clock we will be having a assessment test sharply by 2 o'clock. So you kindly join by 1:50 itself so that we can we will be posting the link. So after that we'll be having a valedictory. Then we'll be having a final feedback. Now I will be sending the morning feedback to you right now. So kindly cooperate and please join 1:50 itself for the next session. That is called for your test session. Now I will be posting this particular feedback of this particular Dr. Rajarajan sir session now.